I never know how to start this kind of video, so I'm just going to spark this up and see where we go. So, my mum passed away on the 20th of March at about 9:10 in the morning. It was probably more like 12 or 13 minutes past, but for sake of argument, I'm just going to say 10 past. She was peaceful. Me and my sister were both there. We both held a hand. It was so bizarre. Like, I've seen dead bodies before, like, both my nanas passed away, one in 2012 and one in February last year. I went to see both of them in, I think it's called the Chapel of Rest, where you go in after like the funeral guys have done what they need to do and dress them and done the hair nice and put on a bit of makeup or whatever. I've seen them like that, but I've never been there when somebody's actually like just gone. It's not like it is in the movies. It's so weird. Like, my sister was telling my sister's pregnant. She's due in July, I think, around my mum's birthday, which is weird, but okay. My mum was obsessed with getting her a pushchair. That's what she wanted to buy, just a nice pushchair for the baby, and obviously she passed. My sister sorted out the pushchair on my mum's behalf, because whilst my mum was in the hospice, she wasn't herself, she didn't have capacity to do it. So on Saturday morning, my sister rang me at 7:30 saying that the nurses had rang her to tell her that my mum's breathing had changed. So I got up, had a shower and went down there immediately. I think I got there about 8:30 because my taxi driver fucked up, but we'll not go into that. When I got there, my mum was asleep. I don't know if that's the right word, unconscious, I don't know. She was doing, like, she had... It was so bizarre. She was, like, breathing really heavy, kind of like the raspy death rattle or whatever you want to call it. And then she would, like, just be really startled and wake up and look around. And me and my sister would be like, "Are you alright, Mum? We're here, it's okay." And then she'd just be like, "Okay," and then she'd go back to sleep. Obviously her breathing got raspier and raspier. I don't know if you ever heard like a death rattle, or I don't know if that's the right term. Mum's probably going to smack me around back head in a minute, but the only way I can think to describe it is that, like, she looked and sounded like a zombie at rest. Like, if you've ever seen The Walking Dead or any zombie movie, when there's no people around and the zombies are just milling, they kind of make that raspy kind of breathing. I'm not going to do an impression, even though I really, really wanted to, then I'm not going to do an impression. That's what they did, and that's what my mum sounded like. And I told her, I sat next to her holding her hand, and her eyelids weren't shut all the way, but you could only see the whites, and her mouth was open a little bit, and I was just saying to her, "Mum, you look really scary at the minute," because I watch far too many zombie shit. And she never liked it. Like, she wasn't scared of it, she just thought it was crap. She liked horror movies, just not zombie shit. So I was like, "Oh, Mum, you look like a zombie." And then me and my sister were talking about the pushchair, and she was telling me, and she's like, "Oh, Mum, I've got a pushchair. It's alright, you'll be paying for it. I'll do it on your behalf, blah, blah, blah. This is it." And she showed me it, And obviously Mum's eyes were shut, but she was like, yeah, Mum, I've got a pushchair. And as soon as she said that, my mum took a breath and just... And she was like that for a while. And the nurse was there, because we were like, oh, we think Mum's going to go soon. And she, like, held that breath for a good 15 seconds, and then we were like, oh, she's gone, fuck. And then she let it out, like... And I was just like, for God's sake, Mum, I thought you'd gone. But I think she did that maybe once more, and then the nurse left. Me and my sister were both there, told her it was okay. And then she just went. So that's why I've been away for, like, I think it's been a week, maybe a week and a day. We've been sorting shit out. I'm actually really proud of myself. I had a couple of drinks on Saturday night, but I didn't get wasted. I didn't have a hangover or anything like that. I've actually been really good with my drinking, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I've always drank too much. I was really bad a couple of years ago. I'm not so bad now. This is non-alcoholic. You can't see that because it's too bright, but it's just Perlenbacher, Lidl's finest non-alcoholic, because I really am trying not to go off the rails, because the first time back in 2017 when we found out that my mum had breast cancer, I got drunk like nearly every fucking night when that happened. My drinking was really bad. I was super depressed. And I don't know why. Maybe I've just matured, or maybe I just know that my mum wouldn't want me to... She said to me, back in December when she found out she couldn't drink anymore, just a couple of weeks before we found out she had cancer, she said to me, just watch what you're drinking. Like, I don't want you to spend all your money on drink. I don't want you to, you know, just drink and get yourself upset and all that shit. Like, she didn't know she was gonna die this soon, and neither did I, so I brushed it off and I was like, oh, you'll want to talk. Fucking 3 bottles of wine a week sometimes, blah, blah, blah. We were joking, it was like in jest or whatever, but she was like, yeah, I know I used to do that, and I know it's, you know, pot calling kettle black, but now that I'm not doing it, I notice just how much you do. And even though it's not like I don't get pissed every night, it's not, with me, it's not just getting drunk that I like. There's a litre of gin, a litre and a half of gin, and some vodka downstairs. I haven't touched vodka since I was like 19 years old, because I had a bad experience with it. And I said never again. But it's not alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to have a beer. I can give or take spirits. There's like a crate of cider in the fridge, cans, but I just like to have a beer every now and again. So I got myself some non-alcoholic Heinekens the other week, and I drank them, and it was just the same as having a normal beer, but just without the alcohol. So, and it's working for me so far. I think I've done pretty fucking well, even if I do say so myself. I think I am doing well. And I think my mum would be proud of me for not losing it. I don't want to cry in this video. I'm trying really fucking hard not to. But it still feels numb. I didn't cry, obviously I cried, but I didn't cry that much on the day. I wanted to be strong for my sister. So I try not to cry too much. And then Monday, I just didn't feel it yet, I was numb. And then Tuesday morning, before I'd even got out of bed, you know, like usually I wake up, look through my phone, and then I'll get out of bed. I kind of mid-scroll was just teared up and just got sad, and I had a little cry. And I got up and I went downstairs and was gonna have some food, but I just kind of stood in the kitchen, and it's like that feeling, that horrible like emptiness in your stomach where you just feel it, and I had to just come back upstairs, sit on my bed for 5 minutes because I felt like I was having a panic attack, and then I cried a little bit more. But I get periods where it doesn't feel real and I just kind of forget. Well, not really forget, but I'm just okay, for lack of a better word, and then something, I don't know, sometimes it's just nothing. Nothing will happen, but my whole just demeanour will shift and I just feel so sad. But it's also like a relief, because before the past couple of weeks I've been expecting like a phone call at any time of day at night, just to be like, your mum's passed away and you weren't there, you know, but I was there, and that's the most important thing. And it's so weird to be in a room with a body, like not just any random body, this body was alive. We were there for like an hour and a half after she actually passed. And it's just like being in a room with someone who's asleep. I was gonna say dead asleep then. It's like being with somebody who's asleep. And when I got there and held her hand while she was still there, she felt kind of cold anyway, so when I picked up her hand after that, it didn't feel any colder. And I just held her hand for a little bit, and then I would get up and walk around the room, and then I would sit back down and hold her hand again, and then the doctor came in and had to check her. And I know that I'm rambling, and I know that you don't want to know any of this shit, but I didn't know any of this shit until a couple of days ago. And it's not like it is in the movies. There's no big breakdown of tears. Well, there is tears, but there's not like... It's just not dramatic. Like, anticlimactic is an awful word to use, but that's what it is. And you don't want to leave. And just when you think you're ready to walk out the door, you go back and you sit down and you pick up a hand and you kiss her on the forehead. And the cycle repeats for another half an hour until you say, if we don't go now, we'll stay in this room forever. So every time I've gone to make this video, I've just kind of sat there and gone, nah. I don't even know if I should be making a video about this because it feels weird, but it's not really for anybody else. If anybody stumbles across this and watches it, then that's okay, I guess. Maybe somebody will find this who's going through the same thing as me and isn't taking it as well and wants to go off the rails and sees me actively trying not to, and maybe it'll help them more, and maybe this will just get buried underneath loads of other videos. But yeah, that's that on that. I'm not crying in this video. So if you're still watching now, thank you. This is just kind of explaining what I'm doing. Also, you know what, fucking hell, I'll make another video about that. This is just about this. Thanks for watching, if you did. Peace.